Welcome back to Vanhuzochi Mama Rwagasabo TV. You're going to be with me, Princess Mugisha. Let's start with the news headlines. Rwandan Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Olivier Nduhungirehe, calls out to Monusco over Fardc, drone and heavy weapon training. 2,700 households, mostly led by women, received electricity free in 1 year. On the international scene, at least 7 people killed after the Alps cargo plane crashes in Kentucky. Let's take a short break to be back into the news details. Let's start on news details here in Rwanda, where Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Olivier Nduhungirehe, has criticized the United Nations peacekeeping mission in Democratic Republic of Congo over its training of Congolese army soldiers on drones and heavy weapons, calling it evidence of the mission's long-standing effectiveness. In a video shared by Moscow, the soldiers are being seen trained in the use of drones, handling heavy artillery, managing casualties and injuries. The training took place in Bunia, Ituri province under the supervision of General Biama, the commander of Monusco'S North Sector. However, Minister Nduhungirehe questioned the wisdom of training, noticing Fardc alliance with the FDLR initially linked to the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, raising serious concerns. He argued the arming and the training forces associated with such groups undermines civilian protection and perpetuates insecurity in the region, where the Congolese forces are battling with M23 rebels. Rwanda has often questioned Monusco's mandate in Democratic Republic of Congo, amid growing security, displacement, and deaths of the scores of civilians. Concerns have been echoed repeatedly by President Paul Kagame, who has in the press sharply criticized Monusco over its decades-long presence in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. President Paul Kagame argues that the mission has failed to stabilize the region, curb violence, or address the root causes of the conflict, despite a multi-billion dollar budget. Turning to our next story, today, Minister Major General retired Albert Murasira, together with the Ambassador of Denmark to Rwanda, World Bank country manager and the Ministry of Health, the UN Refugee Agency in Rwanda representative, Tire district authorities, and humanitarian partners, officially launched the upgrading works of Nduhungirehe Health Center in the Medicalized Health Center. The upgrading is part of the Jambia project implemented by Minema in collaboration with the Refugee Hosting District and supported by World Bank. In line with the government of Rwanda's commitment to enhancing the economic and social well-being of both refugees and host communities. This initiative was made possible through the contribution of the government of Denmark via its International Development Cooperation Program, DANIDA, enabling the upgrade and strengthening of Nduhungirehe Health Center to meet today's health needs. The center will include 2 operating rooms, maternity wards, and neutral care for the premature babies, emergency and laboratory services, 110 inpatient beds, providing specialized care and receiving referrals from other health centers. Now let's turn our focus to this story, where data from Rwanda Energy Group shows that 2,750 households, primarily led by women and those from low-income backgrounds, received free electricity in 1 year. These households, spread across 10 districts, were provided with electricity in partnership with the German Development Agency. Households that receive electricity also include those from Rwamagana district. Regarding the households that did not yet receive electricity, the official mentioned that the discussions are ongoing to ensure they are connected soon. Let's take a short break. We'll be back into the international news. Let's take a look into the international news where at least 7 people were killed and the Alps cargo plane crashed while taking off from the airport of Louisville, Kentucky on Tuesday evening, and the state's governor said. Sandra Tumukunde proceeds.
Let's start with international news in Africa. American court on Tuesday sentenced a man to 5 years in prison and 107,300 in fines for human trafficking in the country's first ruling against someone accusing of luring people to work in scam compound in Asia. The case involved several young Americans who said they were attracted by an online job offer promising good pay in Thailand. Instead, they found themselves trafficked to Myanmar and forced to work more than 9,300 miles from home, facilitating online fraud and scams. The defendant, Nabil Moafik, denied the charges and called human trafficking a crime against humanitarian he would never commit. The United Nations says some 120,000 people are trapped in so-called scam centers, and prosecutions have been launched around the world to combat trafficking. Several are making their way through Moroccan courts. In Casablanca, victims present in court told the Associated Press they witnessed torture and other degrading treatment in the Myanmar center. Some said they secured their release after paying ransom in cryptocurrency, according to the court document provided by Anthony. Prosecutors said Moafik ran a Facebook group helping American immigrants navigate life in Turkey. There he posted an ad for call center work in Thailand. One person, Youssef Amzouz, responded, who was put in touch with another Moroccan who handled recruitment, interviewed, and sent money to purchase a plane ticket to Malaysia. A police report lead out in court said Moafik introduced Amzouz. A police report lead out in court said Moafik introduced Amzouz to another Moroccan who later demanded that he either pay a ransom or recruit 100 others to secure his freedom. Moafik told judges that Amzouz called him after leaving the scam compound, saying he was receiving treatment in hospital for injuries sustained from torture. The International Organization for Migration, a UN body, has said middlemen can be unaware they are participating in trafficking, making prosecuting such cross-border crimes difficult. Turning to our next story, at least 7 people were killed when UPS cargo plane crashed while taking off from an airport in Louisville, Kentucky on Tuesday evening, the state governor said. Andy Bashir said the plane's 3 crew members were likely to be among the dead after the freight plane exploded as it departed Louisville Mohammed Al International Airport at around 17:50 local time. At least 11 other people were injured when the plane crashed, sending thick columns of black smoke into the sky. Officials warned that people suffered very significant injuries in the incident and the death tolls could rise. 2 workers at the autobuses that were stuck were still unaccounted for as of Tuesday evening, and it is not known how many customers were on the premises when the crash happened. In a statement, UPS said 3 crew members were on board, adding that they have not confirmed any injuries or casualties. A preliminary investigation is underway, but officials have said it is too early to say what caused the crash. Officials did note that the massive blaze was due to the amount of fuel on board the aircraft, which was beginning a journey of around 4,300 miles to Hawaii. Concluding our international news, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has restated his country's commitment to joining the European Union, telling Euronews the Europe conversation that Kyiv's future lies with bloc. The Ukrainian leader went on the caveat expectations, emphasizing his desire for the process to be conducted in a fair way and only once Russia's full-scale invasion has ended. Zelensky's comment coincided with the European Commission's annual enlargement report released on Tuesday. It praised Ukraine's remarkable commitment and progress toward the European Union accession, while urging the war-torn country to reverse negative trend, particularly in the area of corruption. Addressing this assessment, Zelensky told Elo News that the country was doing everything possible to prepare for European Union membership, including bolstering anti-corruption measures. As it stands, the European Commission believes Ukraine has met the prerequisite condition to open negotiation on 3 out of 6 quota, which must be fulfilled in order for it to be granted European membership. So, Alessandra, tumukwenda na Margot Gasabo TV.
As we come to the news edition today, let's go back with the news headlines. Rwanda Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Olivier Nduhungirehe, calls out Monusco over Fardc drone and heavy weapons training. 2,700 households, mostly led by women, receive free electricity in 1 year. On the international scene, at least 7 people killed after the Alps cargo plane crashes in Kentucky. Thanks for having me. Stay tuned.